my strength is a certain ball, I need to know that like if I go to that ball, I'm going to execute it at a really high percentage, and this ball over here is probably at a much lower percentage. So don't neglect your strength.
When you're talking about slower balls, Yorkers, it's easier said than done. But how do you go about things from your preparation stage during training phase right through to game day?
Two things come to mind. I think it's clarity. So just be clear about what you want to do, and then obviously practice in terms of like repetitions. You have to practice those skills because it's not, I wouldn't say that it's not easy, because it obviously comes more naturally to certain players more so than others, but it's something you have to practice. The same as batters trying to develop a new shot, you have to keep practicing it. So with that, you obviously need to have a game plan as well. But I think having clarity as to like what, and knowing strengths and weaknesses. So if my strength is a certain ball, I need to know that like if I go to that ball, I'm going to execute it at a really high percentage, and this ball over here is probably at a much lower percentage. So don't neglect your strength, because your strength has to be like really good, and then you can work on your weakness and get it better. Because I've seen a lot of guys, oh no, this is my strength, right? So I'm okay with this. They work on this weakness a lot, and then the strength kind of goes down there, and then your weakness. So then you have two average skills. So you like, if you watch the best guys in the world, they're very simple actually, and they don't have all these different variations that people really think about. I mean, like if I look at Dwayne Bravo, who's probably been one of the best T20 players for a very long time. Simple. He can bowl a good Yorker, he can bowl a good bumper, and he's got a good slower ball, and he bowls decent length as well. So if you think about cricket, the most simple things are the most effective things. And even your like batters as well, like you look at, there are some guys who are a bit different, and I mean those will be like maybe 4 or 5 guys, but if you look at the really good players, they just do good things often, and kind of more basic cricket shots, you know what I mean? And it's just about them being clear. And I reckon if you speak to all of those players, and from players that I've spoken to around the leagues and stuff, they kind of, it kind of all comes back to having a game plan and just being clear.
When you're actually training in the nets, do you try and put something on it, as in just try and replicate that pressure situation?
So when I was younger, we obviously have like little games in the nets and stuff. So that was quite big, like when I was a lot younger. But as I kind of get a bit older now, I kind of try and figure out what I need to do. So I'm practicing more along the lines of where I would bowl in the game. So say I'll have to bowl in the first 6 overs, say in like T20 cricket, if I'm bowling in the first 6 overs, right? This is what I need to do when I'm bowling to a player that kind of plays like this. Then, you know, come back again, either maybe bowling the middle overs or at the death, right? This is what I'm going to do. These are my strengths. These are my fields I'm going to have. And then tell the batter, right, these are my fields. You know, I don't really so much now like place an emphasis on like, right, okay, I'm going to bowl 12 balls at you, got X number of runs, because in a net it's difficult, because guys hit, it sounds nice, but it might be out caught, or you know, they hit in a certain spot, you think like, oh no, that's straight to a fielder, but it might beat the fielder. So yeah, that to a certain extent, but I think it's more about like me focusing on what I'm going to do during games and stuff. And I think preparing that way, again, becoming more specific and being clear as to how I want to go about training as well.